Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to go over how to make a pinch pot. Our first couple of assignments are going to be a series of pinch pots. Now here's that damp rag yesterday where I put clay that I had used, but I didn't want to keep what I'd made, and it was kind of dry. So I got this wet. As you can see, it's still damp. And now this clay has absorbed water, and it's happier now. It is back in a condition where I can work with it. It is plastic. It was on its way to leather hard, not very close to the leather hard, but it was on its way. So this ball right here is about the size of a golf ball. And that's the size I would like you to start with. So you work the clay a little bit like I was doing. I kind of compress it, move it around in my palm a little, compress it, move it around. Now I'm not trying to flatten it, so I'm not smushing it as hard as I can. I'm trying to get it the shape of a sphere, and then rolling like this helps. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This is handmade. If you would like some perfect ceramics, I recommend you go to IKEA. They have a lot of them. But handmade ceramics are not perfect. So I've got about the size of a golf ball, and I'm going to stick my thumb in. I don't want to go all the way through, but I did stick it pretty far in. You can see how far it's in there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. I'm going to compress the wall with my thumb and forefinger, rotate, compress, rotate, compress, rotate, compress. And as I'm doing this, I'm feeling the clay. I'm feeling what's happening to the clay. And I want it to get to be, instead of like a half to a 3/4 inch thick, I want it to get to be about a 1/4 inch thick everywhere, all the way down the wall and all the way across the bottom. So I'm going to go all the way around, compressing like this. And so that's like the first time all the way around. It's still a bit thick right here. Still pretty thick right here. So I need to keep compressing. I'm going to go back and flatten out the bottom some. I'm going like this to flatten out the bottom some. And then I'll slowly work my way to what would be the bottom corner as this sits down. And I'm trying to even out this clay. I can feel like if one area is a little bit thicker than what's next to it, then I want to compress it down and keep turning and get it the same thickness all the way around. And now I'm slowly working my way up. You can see how it starts to crack some at the top. I can stop compressing for a little bit and just smooth this together. Like that. Now I can tell there's a pretty big bulge here, all through here. It's a little thinner here. That's all pretty even. Then there's more of a bulge back in here, the same as there is over here. So I'm going to try and even all this out. Keep going around. I'm compressing. That's why these are called pinch pots, because I just keep going around pinching the clay. It's gotten so big now I can use both hands. In the beginning, it's difficult to feel the clay and realize exactly how much pressure you should be applying to the clay to get it to do what you want. In the beginning, you may not be using enough pressure or too much. If you're using too much pressure, the top will get very thin and crack apart and break off. You don't want the top to get very thin and like at the edge of a knife. You want it to stay, like I was saying, around a 1/4 inch thick everywhere, including the top edge. So now I'm just going around and cleaning up this top edge, even it out a little bit. Then if there's a little crack, then I want to smooth that together. And you're going to need to do this all the way around on all of the surfaces inside and out. Once it's starting to feel like the thickness is good everywhere. So my goal at this point is to make sure the surface is smooth inside and out. I often like to start at the bottom smoothing. Like there's some little cracks here. I'm going to smooth them out. There's like little dents from when I was compressing. Smooth them down some. There's more little cracks. And you need to do this everywhere. Okay? And the assignment, which I'll put in Google Classroom, you're going to make 4 different pinch pots. And I want them all at least this big, at least the size of a golf ball. And at the end of each period, as we go through the construction of these pinch pots, I need you to take some pictures of your work so that I can see what you've been doing in class. Although some of you have your video on, it is difficult for me to really see what's happening. So I'm going to need you to take some pictures every day at the end of class and add them to a slide project that'll be in Google Classroom. And that's how you're going to get graded every day, as having made some progress. And I can give you feedback on your work and help you get better. And now, as you see, I finished smoothing the outside. I'm smoothing the top rim, and I'm also starting to go down and smooth the inside. And the clay is a really nice amount of moisture that works really well to use your rag to get clay that's a bit dry, happy again, so that you can make something beautiful. And this is about done. And now, at the end of the period while we're working on these pinch pots, I would like you to take a picture of the inside and the outside of all the pieces that you have so far. And I'm not talking about anything you made yesterday. I'm talking about just the pinch pots you're making for the pinch pot assignment. Okay? And it's okay if the top of your piece is not totally flat. It might have some little ridges and going around. That's okay. That's totally fine. What's not fine are any little cracks and crevices. Those all need to be smoothed out. That's what's gonna get you an A, is a really nice, smooth, uniform thickness, not too thick, not too thin. It didn't start cracking apart at the top, and it's not so thick, it's like a brick, around a 1/4 inch everywhere. This is what I would like to see from all of you, okay? And I will show you an example in Google Classroom of what your pictures should look like when you're done working for the day. Thank you.